Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here for this conference. My name is Cabañas. I'm the General Manager for Targetspot. I'm very pleased to be here in Lisbon with all of you here, also welcoming the online viewers at home. Today it's Sunday, so most of all the online viewers are sitting in the couch or the dining room. I'm very pleased to be here to talk to certain topics about new revenue streams, monetization ideas that are fairly new. I'm not actually going to address the typical ones, those who are actually already running in most of our businesses, online radio monetization or podcast monetization. There are plenty of good conferences. There's another one right now also covering the podcast, which are just perfect for that. At Targetspot, we have been dealing with online radio monetization or podcast monetization for many years. And well, it's a bit our key differentiator to look into new ideas, new initiatives. So today I'm going to take you on a trip to discover new territories of monetization, those who have potentially haven't not heard of before. So first of all, the key question, why does it matter? Why is it important to find new revenue streams? Well, most of you know that the radio advertising business has been quite impacted by the COVID. And the revenues is stagnating for so many years, and actually it's not going to come back to the initial point. We can see here that the digital audio advertising is growing up, and this is great. It's supported obviously by the online radio, by the podcast, also the music streaming services. But nevertheless, we need to grow. We need to find new ideas, we need to find new categories to increase the revenue of the radio companies. And actually, there are plenty of businesses across the world who just invested so much to increase the audio experience. If you think about Apple, with what they have done with the AirPods, for instance, enhancing the audio experience. If you think about the smart speakers, like Amazon Alexa, interacting with your voice, listening to content, listening to news. If you continue like Clubhouse earlier this year, launching the first social audio community. If you keep going like this, we can also think about what has been launched a few weeks ago by Facebook and Ray-Ban. I would say the comeback of the smart glasses. So you have Ray-Ban glasses where you have internal speakers in the branches of the glass, and you can listen to content. You can listen to podcasts, you can listen to music streaming. So all of these companies have been investing billions for the last few years to put really the audio experience at the center of the game. And this is the right move. And so today I'm going to show you, to present ideas where audio is, again, at the center of the game, and on certain companies who have been finding ways to get monetization out of these ideas. So I'm going to talk about audio and video. That's one category. I'm also going to talk about text to audio. And the last will be the mobile gaming initiatives. So first of all, audio in video. You may know that there are right now more or less 5,000 video platforms right now in the world. So all of us know YouTube, Netflix, Disney+, Amazon Prime Video. There are so much more platforms across the world. And let's be honest, it's really taking a big part of our hobby and our at-home time, watching this series, watching this content, and it's great stuff. But there are some downsides to that. So first of all, you can see the amount of time spent by these consumers on these different platforms. You can see the TV shows, the movies, news, sports. It's not cumulative. It gives you a rough idea about amount of time per day that we spend watching videos. And actually, you can see here the last one, watching other people playing games. This is typically Twitch. You can see an astonishing more than 2 hours a day watching other people playing games. So what's the point? Well, for me and for other studies as well, it's hard to believe that these consumers are really spending 4 hours watching one screen. No interruption, not doing anything else besides that. So actually, they are doing something else. And that's the truth. We conducted some certain studies, and we find out that people, and it's normal, are actually doing something besides watching the screen. They can be working, hopefully not during the business hours. They could be also just texting, writing, watching other stuff, again, complementing their video experience. And so the issue for certain companies who are running ad-supported video businesses is the effectiveness of the video ads. If you are watching a video, or pretend to be watching a video, and you have a video ad, well, the effectiveness of the video ad will be very poor. You're going to have a very low CTR. And that's a problem. That's a business problem, a revenue problem. And this is where Dailymotion comes into the game. So Dailymotion is the #2 video platform, right besides the almighty YouTube. And Dailymotion has launched a completely new product called the Audio Roll. So Audio Roll is very simple. It is just an audio ads, like a pre-roll or mid-roll within a video. And it fits perfectly with the experience because there are, on Dailymotion, many videos, many categories of videos where people are actually not watching the video, they're listening to the video. You can think about concerts, you can think about radio shows, you can even think about TV replays or cooking classes. Well, you name it, there is actually no concrete limit. It's just the behavioral of the consumer watching or listening to the video. So I'm going to show you a short clip about how does it look like on Dailymotion websites.
Modern leaders. It's not just their ability to reason that we value, or their eloquence. It's more than their intelligence that we admire. What truly matters is their humanity. Just like modern leaders, the LS is human at heart. Every aspect of the Lexus LS is crafted around you. Engineered to a higher standard, the human standard. The new 2021 Lexus LS. Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
As you can see, this is very simple. I mean, there's no magic behind that. It's just perfectly fitting into the consumer behavior, not watching the video, but be there to listen to a commercial message. So now let's come back to you, I would say the radio community. Do you have video platforms? Do you have apps? Do you have websites? Do you have your radio streams? Obviously, yes. Do you have videos? Most probably, yes, as well. So again, this is a concrete monetization opportunity. You do have, most probably, users watching videos, but actually just listening to the content of the video. And you're running video ads on these same platforms. You should maybe take a look about your CTR, the effectiveness of these videos, because there is a good complement. I'm not saying that this is going to be cannibalizing your video revenue, but it's a good complement for the video ads revenue to have an audio ads revenue. And most important, this is your business. Audio is at the heart of your business. So potentially you will be able to run that specific monetization stream by yourself with your own teams. You don't need a third party to run that business. And also, you could also create bundles with your own audio ads formats for your FM ads, for your online radio ads, for your podcast ads. You can create this bundle with now the audio in video ads. So that's the #1, I would say, in terms of concrete example of monetization streams that can come into your business next year. If you look at now the second one, text to audio. What is text to audio? Well, it's a simple technology that has been there for, I would say, the last 25 years. It's just converting text into a speech. We used to call that text to speech. Again, Amazon, Google, Microsoft have been investing billions to increase the quality of that. It's not the old days of the GPS talking like a robot. Now you can get very natural voices out there. And so there are many, many ideas to run monetization opportunities and opportunities around that. But let's start. Again, news websites. This is today most of us are consuming news from our smartphone, from the app, and you're reading stuff. And this is actually the most popular way to read stuff. And the big trend right now is that from reading to listening to the press. How is that working? Again, very simple. You just take a piece of content, you pass it through this text-to-audio software, you can choose the language, and then you can play out the audio file. So such as a podcast, but without having to have people recording, editing the podcast. It's all on the fly, directly from the page or from the app into your ears. And again, it's very important in this context where we all in mobility. We're not anymore, I would say, sitting at home, reading the newspaper from the kitchen, from the couch. We're all doing many things at the same time, maybe watching videos as well. And by the way, also reading news, but that's where the listening to the news comes into play. So there is a startup called Trinity Audio who launched this software, this business. They are based in Israel. It's running very well right now. I'm going to show you a concrete example from Forbes.com, which is a famous news outlet. And what they can say in terms of experience is the measurement of the LTR. So what you can hear and read over here is that you can get a 59% LTR on the news listening. It's not bad. It's still the beginning of the technology, but you can already see that it's quite a fair KPI. What's really important is the fact that we have the ability to include an audio ad. So if you come back into the business model of these news websites or the applications, obviously you can get revenue out of display, bannering, even the videos. But what happens when people are not watching the screen anymore? They are listening to the content. This is where the audio ads comes into play again. And that's the beauty of this technology, is that 91%, you get a 91% LTR into the audio ads. So again, this is a great completion. And also what is interesting is that the longer the format of the audio article, that's how we call it internally, audio article, the better. You get better LTR. So basically, you don't have to focus on very short forms, but you can go to fairly long, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, reading and listening to articles. So I'm going to show you one concrete example.
Artificial intelligence is too important to leave to Google and Facebook alone. Let's develop a public research consortium to take on useful projects that have no commercial prospects. Just a quick word from our sponsor.
Buying a home is smarter than renting. If you're ready to buy, First Community is the right lender. First-time buyers can buy with no money down. That's right, no down payment. They also pay no closing cost, and there is no private mortgage insurance. So find your first home and get your first home loan at firstcommunity.com.
Americans don't have to be beholden to the tech Goliaths to get the benefits of artificial intelligence. An alternative possibility.
Again, very simple technology. You can see it or you can hear it. It's not a robotic voice. Forbes.com has implemented all over their website. You can check it, not right now. Please wait until the end of this presentation. But actually, you can literally go to any of their content and you will find a play button there. Forbes.com can manage to have a female voice, a male voice. They can work with Trinity Audio also to fine-tune the tone of voice depending on the type of news. Basically, if you have some, I would say, cheer-up news, you can use certain type of tone of voice. If you are actually talking about something more severe, you can work around with also another type of tone of voice. And again, you have seen this audio advertising. You can also start to play around with segmentation, with targeting, based on the content, the insight of the article. If you have a sports article, you can address then the sports advertising business. If you have, for instance, other types of news articles, you can always adapt it really and have it tailor-made to your own needs. So, well, let's dream a bit. You all also have websites and applications supporting your radio businesses. Well, let's just imagine one magic button, a play button at the top of your website. You just click on it, and then you can hear all your articles. Supported by ads, if you want, or if you don't want to, that's always possible. And then you can start having your own automated podcast. It's not actually a podcast, because podcast is something different, but it's quite close to that. And again, it's opening up new initiatives for you, because you have ton of content, written content. And actually, outside the radio community, you also have websites with a huge amount of content, written content, that can be played as an audio file. And then we enter again to a new opportunity of audio revenue, because you can also have an ad-supported business model. Now let's talk about mobile games. This one, to be honest, can be a little stretch from where you are right now, but definitely it's a good insight to look into, because again, it's really using the power of audio to increase revenues for this specific business. So let's start on the big numbers. So no surprise, mobile gaming is a huge business. It counts for $100 billion across the world. Here you have the whole amount of business that this community is building. It's everything. It's really the mobile games, it's really the console games, you get everything in it. If you look now into the advertising business, specifically for mobile games, you can see here the amount of business. We talk about more or less $46 billion of revenue this year. And you can see how it is growing to more than 130 by 2025. This is a huge, again, amount of business, and they're all looking into how are they going to sustain that business. I was in London 3 weeks ago talking to an audience full of mobile gaming studios working on the monetization. And the biggest fear is basically twofold. One, actually the revenue has been hit by new data privacy regulatories, and it's very fair to say it's normal, but they lose between 30 to 40% of their business. It's not applicable to everyone, but most of them is doing so. Secondly, well, they're a bit tired of having basically the same advertisings into the games. If you are yourself a mobile games user, actually, you will quite quickly recall that all, I would say, even the majority of all the audio of the video ads you will find in your mobile games is for other mobile games. And that's actually, they're suffering from that, because they're just moving around the advertising business from one hand to the other, but actually they're not really increasing value, because they're just stealing users from one to the other. So they've all been searching for where is the, I would say, the magic to bring brands to invest into mobile games. And that was the whole point about the conference. And we talk a lot about audio ads and how this is how we're going to show it to you now. So again, you have many users. You have close to 50 million users of mobile games on a regular basis in the UK. And actually, the pandemic has just been an accelerator for that type of services. You can see here the difference between before COVID and after COVID about all the different types of users across different markets. So I'm going to show you how it works concretely. Imagine you are having your moments playing your favorite game, and most of you can recall that at some point your game is interrupted because you need to watch a video to be able to continue playing. You need to watch a video to get that extra life to continue playing. And this is, well, sometimes it's a breaker. You just stop playing because you're tired, because it's the third time you get this video game, this video ad. So this is where audio comes like a great solution for the mobile gaming community. So I'm going to show you two examples.
Every time I pop out, it pop off. YKTV got the top off.
What's up, everybody? It's Nas. Check out my new album, King's Disease 2. Hit the banner to keep listening.
Son ain't no son of me. Ran 100 M's to running things. Paper power, that's coming threes. What you think I owe you some girl for me?
So again, this is a very simple example. You can just continue playing your car game and listen to an ad. The second one is really the one that brings the brand into the game. That one is very impressive for the mobile game studios community.
Jim from Nuneaton writes, "You were everything I desired. Perfection. I only had eyes for you, but before I really knew it, you were gone, leaving just an empty box behind. I just want you back. Your 2 juicy patties, crisp lettuce, gherkins, onions, cheese, and my favorite Big Mac sauce."
You can now spend even longer with the taste you love with the Grand Big Mac, but only until the 24th of March. Served after 11 a.m., subject to availability, participating restaurants only.
Sorry to play that kind of ad right before lunch. The lunch will be much better than a Big Mac, I can assure you. So again, it's very simple ways of having audio ads, audio experience within a game. And I can tell you, really, the mobile gaming community is picking up that type of concepts to really look into bringing more users, more brands to invest in the advertising, and also in terms of gaming experience, this is one of the greatest KPIs they have, is to make sure that you continue playing more and more within one specific game. And this is the right way to do it instead of interrupting the gaming experience. And so to prove that point, we have one of our partners. It's called AudioMob. Again, it's a startup based in London. These are the ones who have developed the audio ads that you have just seen right before in the demos. And they conducted a study on 2,000 mobile gaming users. And what you can see here is basically, I mean, they say yes, we like audio ads. It's much better experience. You don't interrupt my game. I can just continue playing. I can still get my rewards because I hear the McDonald's ad, and then I can get an extra life, an extra tool, or whatever. And actually, also, they have a better recall of the brand and the message of the ad of any other type of ads within the mobile games, either display, banner, or video. So again, this is a great, great tool. And you can imagine that when we go into what I've said previously, Apple, Amazon, Google, all investing in devices where you can get this audio experience. We haven't touched that one, but Facebook, for instance, has been investing for many years now in the VR and the AR devices. So this is coming. I know we all say it's coming next year. Most probably not next year. It's coming in the next 3 to 5 years, where we are going to have a device where we can get this type of experience. And again, audio is going to be at the center of that. And again, it can be an opportunity for increasing revenue. So, as you have seen, there are plenty of innovations. I've talked about audio in video. And again, most probably, you all here in this audience or at home, you have a colleague, a department running the video platform. I really invite you to go and talk to these colleagues. Look at the figures, look at the performance, look at the click-through rate, and discuss the ability to include audio ads in there, because again, it's your own business. This is where you are the best, is really running audio content, and part of your colleagues running audio ads. The second one is the text to audio. Same here. You should go and talk to your publishing colleagues, to your website department. Potentially, your radio is part of a media group, also running news websites. So get together, discuss this idea about how we can jointly increase revenues, but at the same time, let's not forget, it's not only about revenues, but it's also about creating a complete new service, innovative service, right at, I would say, the center between radio, podcasts, news content, written content, and you are creating something new for your customers. And the last one, mobile games. Pretty sure no radio, to my knowledge, has a mobile gaming studio within its portfolio. But nevertheless, the key point here is what? There are plenty of companies, plenty of businesses which are counting on audio. And counting on audio, it's good for everyone because it's going to increase investments from agencies and from brands. It's going to increase as well the investment from the GAFA or from other companies to have a better audio experience. And better audio experience is also an excellent news for all the radio business. Thank you.
Hi, sorry.
I'm going to have a microphone.
Could you keep your mouth on, please?
Just one question. For which languages work the software?
The text to audio?
Huh?
Text to audio?
Yes, which
Yes.
languages now?
Actually, English, Spanish, French, Chinese. I believe Italian is also well developed. And all the other languages that you can imagine. But they have a level of maturity, which is very different. Obviously,
Some
English...
small countries have possibility to have such a software?
Sorry?
Like Croatian, Slovenian, Serbian?
Yes, yes. I mean, they do exist. It's only a matter of maturity. I can tell you that English and Spanish are the most evolved ones, either because there are many customers working on it, implementing, and putting more, I would say, demand to increase the quality. But essentially, speech and text to audio is available on any languages.
So about the text-to-audio ads, I think that's a very interesting concept, especially because you can personalize them way more based on the context where they're put on the site. My question is, how can they be booked? Like, is there a booking system in place that makes it really easy for me as an advertiser to say, okay, I'm targeting this audience and probably in this kind of context?
Yeah. So again, we're talking about a startup who launched the concept, who is now implemented at Forbes and many other websites as well. And actually, we are working on that type of concept. For I would say, the agencies, having the ability to target, to see where the audience is, what are the type of articles they have been reading, what is the group of content they are interested in and not. That's one side. But also on the user experience side, it's also very interesting. We start to work on algorithm, where basically, as I said, this magic play button, instead of going article by article, I'll just talk my personal experience. I like to wake up in the morning, have a nice cup of coffee, and reading the news. And at the same time, listening to the news. And I'm mixing from one of them. Actually, I'm listening to the news and reading at the same time. So for me, the best experience will be have my cup of coffee, have a play button, and that website that I use to go every day, every morning, knows me very well. And they can play whatever they know I would like to hear. Sports, politics, events, whatever, for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. They know exactly what is my morning routine, and they can adapt it to my morning routine. Another question there.
If nobody else wants to. Regarding the audio and video ads, do you have any measures on the effectiveness compared to the video?
Well, it has been launched like a week ago. We can grab a coffee afterwards. I can just connect on my laptop, looking at what really happened over the last few days, and I can tell you. But definitely, there have been some previous tests who proved, because otherwise Dailymotion would not have invested in that product, but it did prove that basically when you are not watching a video and you're listening to audio ads which is adapted to that type of behavior, it's much more effective. Effective on the brand recognition, and that's how we're going to evolve the product to see, is it a performance product because you can see there is a banner. So are people going to click on it? Are they going to take their smartphone out of their back pocket to click on the Lexus banner? Or is it just pure brand advertising, and then you can record it? Again, new ideas, we'll see how this evolves in the next few weeks and months, specifically for audio and video. There's another question there.
Keep your mask on.
Do you believe that companies need to create a new creative next to the video ad, or that you, as a marketer, can, based on your video ad, create this audio ad?
Yeah. Well, my recommendation would be you will need to invest into creatives which are not specifically designed for that type of product, but more in terms of effectiveness. You should look at 50 seconds, 20 seconds max as a length of an audio ad versus the traditional 30 seconds. Essentially, again, because you are in mobility, you have a smartphone. As I said, when you do that, you're actually doing many other things at the same time. So it needs to be effective. You need to get the message, the main message, directly within the 5 first seconds, and then you can have the right impact of your audio ads, but not specifically a dedicated creative. Okay. Thank you very much.